How do you think Hot Boy Summer's gonna go?
Hot Boy Summer is very intriguing this year. Everyone was inside the house. People were ready. People were ready to go, get it popping, get it lit. Now it's just time. It's time. This is the culmination. The government finally said, "Yo, we're out. It's time. You guys are ready. We're gonna pass these last stemmies out. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a very interesting experience."
So you think that's gonna have people like a lot more out of the house and in the streets and wanting socialization?
I feel that now. I see a lot more people out in the streets right now. I feel the socialization going crazy. I'm just ready.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for this experience. Hopefully there's no, I mean, there's going to, with a lot of people out, a lot of people are going to be hyped up, excited. So what comes with excitement? Mad people are going to get in aggressive altercations with each other. So you got to be wary about how you move in these streets now. If you got a pretty girl, then somebody might try her because shit, they've been in the house all the time. They haven't seen pretty women. Shit, any new woman that comes up, they just want to hit on. Fuck it, they got a boyfriend. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it.
Everyone has a boyfriend. It's been quarantine.
Right, but now that we're out, single people on the loose. They trying to find something. So it's gonna be interesting out here.
What do you feel most excited about for the summer?
Freedom. I didn't realize. Well, I did realize. I didn't realize like the connection and how much that meant to me and how much that played a role in my life. I'm just ready to get back to just being around people and freely expressing myself, and I wanna explore different avenues and get on the stage and like talk on a mic and get booed off stage if I'm trash and get applauded if I'm good. Like I can't wait to just see what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been so ready. I wanted to do that before quarantine came out. I was ready to do that. So
Yeah, you've been ready, been really ready to get
yeah,
on stage.
I just want to get on stage and fail or do good.
Yeah. I mean, all failures lead to a success story in the end. You know.
I agree. This is just that. I'm just trying to learn how to be in front of the camera. That's the hard part. The hard part is something like constantly staring at you and looking at you and just you constantly taking account for everybody who's on the opposite end of the spectrum, who's going to be judging you. They're going to be like, damn, he has something in his teeth. Or damn, you know what I mean? His melanin wasn't popping how it was supposed to pop. Or, you know what I mean? He needed to go do some more push-ups because he looked weak. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that people take into account when they're get in front of the camera and they start talking and shit. And it's like, damn.
You get embarrassed.
Right. I'm just trying to learn how to not give a fuck. Like, I don't want to give a fuck about nobody. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? I love everybody, but like, you just can't care about what people think no more.
Interesting take.
Life is short, bro. Like, if you're not being your authentic, or at least trying to be your authentic self, then what's the point of being here, you know? I feel like this world is just a blank canvas and you need to just start painting. Like, not painting is not the right answer, you know? And painting the way that someone wants you to paint isn't the right answer either. You just need to paint however you feel is right. And if someone thinks that your painting is the worst painting they've ever seen in the world, then fuck them. And if someone thinks your shit's the best painting in the world, fuck them too, honestly, you know?
It's what art is.
Right. Might be Van Gogh one day. He was just putting some shit on paper and that shit popped off. And now now he's regarded as one of the greatest.
Just following your passions. That's all you have to do. That's where beauty follows, you know.
Right. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly. Whatever you feel passionate about, you can make beautiful.
Do you have any fears? Do I have any fears about fame? Let's see. My fear about fame is temptation.
Makes sense.
Because once a lot of eyes come into your circumference and they start taking a liking to you, then you start living for other people than yourself. Like, you know, there's cousins who come out the woodwork, you know? There's family members who come up and be like, yo, man, they start talking to you about deep shit. You're like, bro, why you, you're like, what's up, man? We ain't never talking about deep shit. Why are we talking about deep shit right now, you know? Mm-hmm. You trying to get somewhere with this?
Yeah, what's up? Get to it.
You know?
Uh-huh. People are so obvious.
So, you know, that's tough. Paranoia, like,
Yeah,
I think one of the biggest things that I'm dealing with right now is just like how to bring people into my circle and just trust their intentions. Mm-hmm. And I think another thing that goes with that is just, you know, you just gotta let people be who they are and accept that if they have negative intentions that the universe will deal with them. My goal is to just bring everybody into my circle and just hopefully everyone has the right intentions. And if they don't, then we'll deal with it from there. Right. But I think ultimately one of the fears I always had in life is that I even called my mom about it. It was like, yo, Mom, I had this terrible dream. Like, I was going to blow up. I was going to be this really philanthropy, humanitarian type of person. And somebody close to me would kill me. You know, that was a genuine thought that I had in my heart. And it came through my dream, and I expressed that to her, and she just reiterated to me. She's like, honey, you know, since you were 2 years old, like, you've always talked about death in some way or shape or form. And I'm just like, damn, like, this shit just never escapes my mental, you know. I'm always constantly thinking about being the best version of myself, but the same thing that goes with being the best version of myself comes with like an ultimate downfall. And so I came to that conclusion is just like, in order to be the best version of myself, I have to accept that there's a strong possibility that somebody might be a hater, like we was talking about, and might come and just kill me one day. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That's life. I would much rather be okay with being killed at 33 or, you know, a young age and living out my fullest potential than living to 85 and having a whole bunch of what ifs. Like, damn, what if I would have just bought that camera and that mic? That shit was mad easy to do and just start talking some shit, you know? So I'd rather do that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, if it's only 5 years I got left on this earth, then fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just gonna live that motherfucker up, and we just gonna live the most fullest and authentic way that we can live, you know? And I'm still learning how to be authentic. I still catch myself in moments when, you know, I have to reveal certain things that I may have kept private from people, but the feeling that I feel being like just fully transparent is bar none. There's no better feeling than that.
Right.
But one thing I thought about the other day when I was in the shower was, oh shit, everything's on the table. Everything's transparent now. I'm like a self-sabotager, what I realized. Because when everything is like going perfect, like when everything is on the table, that's when my mind starts working. I'm like, damn, I feel like I gotta do something fucked up. Like like everything in my life, I've always been wrong, like in one way. Like I've always done everything right, and then I've always had like a couple things I've done wrong. I think I conditioned my mind to be like that. So I saw that. It's like that mentality is like creeping back into my head. It's like, ooh, wow, you're so good now. You know, everyone knows everything. You know, you're transparent right now. Ooh, you should do some dirt so that you can have some dirt back in your little stash again. And that's kind of a scary thought that comes in the back of my head. But I fight that. I don't want to put myself back in that mode anymore. I just want to be open to everything and just give myself freely.
Do you think that thought has any impact on some of the decisions that you make in life?
As far as what?
Like your lesser good of decisions, I suppose. Like,
you think I make bad decisions based off the fact that I want to self-sabotage?
Right. Like, yeah. Do you think like just think of like the last 2, 3, 4 things that you can think that you did that was kind of wrong, mm-hmm. And do you think you did it out of a mistake or out of sabotage?
things that I actually did that were wrong. I don't consider a lot of things that I do wrong.
But you're saying that you're self-sabotaging and you feel like something needs to be wrong. You're always doing something
That's
wrong.
a thought. So I'm a self-sabotager by trade. I think that's deeply embedded in my core of beliefs, just because of living and things. When things are going perfect, there's always something that comes and fucks up everything. When the family feels great, there's a divorce. When the family feels great, there's a cheating. When my relationship feels great, I feel jealous. When when I think she's doing something, I cheat. There's always something. There's always something to just take away from being in the moment and accepting things for what it is.
Okay, I see.
So I don't think I did anything, like now, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Outside of what I've already expressed, like not keeping it all the way 100 and being honest about my actions. And I did those. Yeah, I think that was a part of self-sabotage. I think in that moment, I based a lot of things that I did off of other people's intentions or other people's decisions. Like I was watching someone else conduct themselves, and I said, "Wow, they're in the same position that I'm in, and they're doing that. Maybe I can do that. It won't be as bad because they're in the same position. Things are okay if they do that. He's gonna be cool. He's gonna be fine the next day. I'm sure I'll be fine the next day too." But it never works like that. All of our minds are wired and configured differently. So
all relationships are different.
Right. His conscious might be triggered based off of things that are, that may be more revealing or more severe in a societal standard. Mm-hmm. But to me, anything that isn't straight shooting automatically triggers my conscious, and I'm like, whoa, because I grew up. My dad always said, like, "I'll never lie to you, son. I'll never lie to you." Like, he said that shit so fucking much that, like, that shit just got stuck in my brain. Like, he said that shit so much, "Son, I'll never lie to you. Son, I'll never lie to you. Son, I'll never lie." So now, if I ever lie in any way, I automatically feel like the fakest person in the world, And it's kind of weird being on camera and not lying. Because like there's a I still have to be a citizen of the society. I still gotta work and apply for jobs, and employers may look at things that I say on the internet and judge me based off of how I conduct myself. So it's kind of hard to be fully transparent on the internet. So I'm trying to work with the line and be transparent and professional at the same time. What's the viewership's business, and what's the viewership's what's not their business? Mm-hmm. What don't they need to know?
What do you keep for yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird because I kind of want to give everything, because I feel like that's the greatest impact. I feel like the people who give their all, who just don't give a fuck, who get that face tat, mm-hmm. That's the people who jump over that curve, Yep. So my decision would be to be transparent. My decision would be to be transparent.
How does it feel, like, consciously when you know that you're lying about something, or like you're withholding something, or something's kind of weighing on you that you haven't been completely transparent about? And whether it's to your mom, to your dad, to me, you're just holding something back, and then you're talking to that person every day, you're looking at them,
Mm-hmm.
But you're not being completely authentic with them. Like, do you feel that, like, every day? Do you feel like sometimes? Like, what do you feel?
So, I think about death a lot. So with that thought, I think about my legacy. I think about how people are going to remember me. I think about the impact that I left on humanity. So when I lie and people are believing something that isn't true, and they're running with it, they're living their life based as if I'm somebody else, that's like a stab. It's like, whoa, if you were to die right now, the people in your life who are believing these lies are going to believe something that's not factual, and that's not how I want to be remembered for the rest of their life. So it feels like a constant, like, either you can die and just accept the fact that you're not fully authentic, and that's not going to feel good in my heart. There's a lot of pride and ego that comes behind it. I don't think it's 100% morally based. I think a good portion of it is based behind ego and pride. Is I want to be remembered as a person who laid it out there and was just gave it all, and wasn't somebody who they weren't. So every time I lie, I feel like I'm diminishing my legacy. So that's it's not even about almost the human at that aspect. Like, I could lie to a cop any day. I don't give a fuck about what a cop thinks about what I
Right.
what the fuck I did.
Right. In importance.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, the people who actually matter to me, those people, yeah, when I lie to them, it feels like I'm taking a hit on my legacy.
I just talked about this today at work. It was funny.
Yeah.
We had the same conversation.
My whole fucking legacy is just up for grabs, and people just can just run with it. And the funny thing is, you could be the most thorough motherfucker in the world. When you die, people might still shit on you, So but I'm gonna do the best I can while I'm on the earth, and that's all I can ever do.
Absolutely. So do you think that part of you keeps everything completely honest, out of like ego, out of pride? What do you think? The moral compass. Where did that come from in your life? Like,
My mom.
yeah.
Easy. I don't even gotta think twice about that.
I love that. That's like a snap.
My mom is like
beautiful.
my center. She's like the centerpiece of my entire existence.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, my mom means everything to me. We don't talk as much because I live on the other side of America, but me and my mom are like, she's my soul, and we're like soul partners. If I didn't have a girlfriend, if I didn't have a wife, whatever, she's my girlfriend, she's my wife, because that's just how close we always will be forever. And so she instilled morality in me. My dad instilled protection and discipline and all the shit that men are supposed to learn from their fathers. But my mom really just connected with me spiritually and just taught me. When you see your mom go through emotions, that shit does something to you. It doesn't matter who you are. I hope it does something to you. But when I saw my mom go through her emotions, that shit just weighed a toll on me, and it just it's something that you can never forget. Whether you don't remember it technically, you'll still subconsciously remember the feelings that you felt when you saw that. So, yeah, me and my mom, just seeing her and what she's gone through, that and her knowledge and her wisdom and everything she taught and put into me, that's the morality. It's when I look at a woman, that I'm looking at like my mom in a sense, because if I'm lying to you, it's like I'm lying to my mom. And so when I'm living with these lies to a woman or to anybody, it's like damn, I'm doing my mom dirty a little bit, because like she's, I've seen her go through whatever, and now I'm doing similar things, not necessarily the same thing, but things in that vein. And so that's not the world I want to place myself in, and that's not the environment that I want to do to anybody.
That's your one truest love, your life partner, for real. That's beautiful. It's exactly how it should be,
Yeah, I tell her.
No love should, be stronger. Your love for your children, it's a continuous legacy, but having a good mom, having a good dad, having a good parent that bond is like nothing else in the world. Like, yeah, that's where you get so much of you, and you can see like the things that even you've told me shine through you, I've seen it, the light, the sun, the happiness, positive attitude, And then I see the parts that you're describing of your dad too, the discipline, the hard work, the, the grind part, And so it's just a creation from that love that you were surrounded with,
It's beautiful to see the aspects of the people who created you that you take.
Yeah.
Even if you're not necessarily completely just like molded by them, you still take little things from that you don't even recognize, that maybe you didn't even learn directly from them, that just got passed through the DNA. It's like, damn, we didn't even spend that much time together, but I still grabbed this trait from you. That's so weird, you know? So it's always been interesting, like looking at the people who created me and being like, damn, like I'm really both of them. Like, what the fuck? How does this happen? Like, how does the universe keep doing this? How's everything manifested so perfectly to where everyone is just like a spitting image of what's been created before, you know? So
beautiful.
The goal is to take what was been taught and kind of manipulate it into a better version, or to at least a version that promotes a healthier way of life. Because I think a lot of people from the past generations live for survival, you know? So we're in a new generation where we're kind of living for creation, and we're living for enjoyment and spiritual wellness and spiritual knowledge. So I don't fault my parents for the way that they lived, because they had to get to point A to point B. A lot of things were hard on them. They were in positions where they were just getting out of the race. You know, they're still in a racist society, but they were getting out of the racist structure of the Jim Crow era. So you just got to do what the fuck you got to do. It's not really about, oh man, I want to meditate and shit like that. No, it's like, yo, you need to wake up tomorrow and fucking get this money, because you know, you're all you got right now.
So survive, yeah.
Exactly. So right now we're kind of in more of a cushion state. We still have a little bit of what the generation before had to deal with, but we're much more in a cushion. So I would like to keep manifesting this into something that morphs into what the society's growing to today, you know? Yeah, man, this is interesting. This is interesting, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy. I'm happy for where we're headed. I'm happy.
Do you feel like we're gonna have a transitional period of growth among our society this coming year? I just, in my soul lately, it's like really been speaking to me on growth. I really feel like this is gonna be the year around us that is gonna be full of growth. People really did a lot of thinking during quarantine. They did a lot of inside time, and now it's just gonna be like another boom almost.
I don't know. If I had to give you a answer on whether we're gonna be in growth or we're gonna digress. See, the answer that I want to give is that growth, but the answer that I feel in my spirit, which I don't want to put out into the universe, is digress. You know, like I want to give you growth just because like that's speaking positive things into the universe, and that's who I am as a person. But in my logical brain, from just evaluating the landscape, I feel like people sat in the house and they got a lot more tense, and a lot of anger built up and a lot of stress built up. And so they're just looking for an outlet to express their anger and their stress. And so opening things up right now is just giving people an avenue to just let go of stress. So hopefully that comes with growth, and it doesn't come with people using vices and deteriorating the earth because they feel selfish about life. Right. in totality. Because as humans, we're selfish. We only live in our own consciousness. I can't live through your consciousness. So at some point, this consciousness in this body is going to stop. So why not live to the fullest extent? Why not drive that motorcycle 180 miles per hour? Because I want to experience that before I die. I want to be able to take something that fast, you know? That's shit that everyone has to experience in their own conscious, you know? So if everyone has that mentality, then they're going to misuse the earth that we have, because they're just using it to their own benefit. And then when they die, who gives a fuck? That's the next person's problem. So that's what I think, like in a logical standpoint. But from like a spiritual, like want to be happy, woke standpoint, I'm like, you know what? maybe everybody comes together on some kumbaya shit, and we just go out to the club and have fun, and love begets from that.
Right. I mean, we've been at such a standstill for so long, though, that a lot of people have lost like a lot of things have been lost during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's where I get the idea of growth. Like, they have to go up. Like, restaurant owners, bar owners, they're getting customers again. Their business is going up again. People are going to want to be out more. The numbers going to go up. People's happiness levels are going to go up because they're not stuck in the house. Like, they can actually go out and hopefully, healthfully, let go of some of the tension that they've been experiencing. But I definitely do see a lot of people also on the flip side of what you're talking about that have just been so built up that they're going to do some crazy shit,
Right.
That comes with a boom.
And that's the thing. We're here. This is it.
Right.
There's no other, as far as we know, we can theorize all we want about what happens in the afterlife, but as far as we know, once we die, this shit is fucking over, and that's it, right?
Right.
So you got to be selfish to some degree. Unfortunately, everybody's in it for themselves in some degree. So in that aspect, my selfishness is going to be more directed in a business aspect. I want to take things to a different level. I want to start a real business. I want to get into all the media aspects that I can get into and double this thing up, because life is short. Again, we got nothing but this clock is it. This clock is ticking, and at some point the clock is not going to tick anymore. So I want to give maximum effort. Every idea that I have that seems logical, that I think I can manifest into a reality, I want to just shoot for. So when I get some energy and I got a couple of confidence boosters in me, I'm gonna put the camera up and start talking some shit or interview somebody. When I have an idea about starting a business, I'm gonna start Googling some shit and asking people in industries how to start businesses. So that's the only way there is to live on this earth. Because if you don't live like that, you're going to be walked over. People are going at the inflation rate of money and survival is rising every day. How do you make money? How do you put money in your pocket? You have to do things that benefit you and benefit the people that come after you. So you got to think of ideas. You got to continue to be on your toes. You got to continue to create. That shit's never going to stop.
Degrees, keys, and LLCs.
Exactly.
The goals.
Right. So school, business, and
Step
keys
by
to
step,
houses.
you're taking it, yep.
Exactly.
That's all you're doing. You're taking the world.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I
make it your own. That's selfish, but it's real.
It's the main reason I got into real estate, because that's the world is. We only have one world, and we have a bunch of people, and everything is split up into sections and houses and land and acres and miles and counties and states. So how do I even wrap my mind around any of this? Start from the bottom, which is real estate. So that's one of the main reasons that I got motivated to get into real estate. So I just want to learn a little bit of everything and try to figure out a nice little lane to carve so I can make a good chunk of change and find a spot on the beach, put my feet in the sand, put these little pink toes in the sand.
It's really cute.
And shit, be lit, and just stay out the way, not get in too many people's business, and just find my own little piece of happiness. Exactly.
Which is the most beautiful way of being selfish, Being selfish that's not inflicting harm on others, It's different. There's different degrees. There's different levels to everything, and
right.
If you can do something in the best way you can.
Right. On this path of success, I wanna interview whoever would like to get in front of the camera so that I can get every different perspective, and so I can figure out where they want to take it, how they want to go, what their mentality is, what they learned, what they failed, the lessons that came with the trials and tribulations. So I'm happy, and I love all